I want to share more of my experience with the Pink Princess Philodendron. Keep watching. Hey, what's going on, folks? My name is Gerard. I am an exotic plant collector. I love plants. I research plants. I propagate plants. And I highly respect plants. I use this channel to talk about my experiences with all of my plants, to share knowledge and to share my experiences. Since we're living in the age of information, I'm happy to use YouTube as a platform to share. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate your support. All right, so I just want to talk about like my experience. I'm like I would say I want to say 2 years in with a reverted pink princess that I was silently hoping. I was crying, literally, like crying. Like each month, it was unfurling a new leaf, and it wasn't pink. I had like little, really tiny, like minuscule speckles of pink that weren't even like. It just was horrible. I was taking pictures of it on Instagram, and I was just so excited. I had a pink princess, but I wasn't getting the pink that everybody was showing on their lovely pictures on Instagram. And I was like pissed that I spent that money, $60, and I didn't get like that either like that full leaf, half full leaf, section of pink. I just couldn't. I just was like, you know what, the plant community is great, but I made the decision to buy a plant from overseas that I wasn't sure of what I was going to get. So I couldn't have like a picture, a reference picture, and say, okay, I'm getting this particular plant. So when I bring it home, I'm going to have this particular plant. I didn't have those two things combined. So they were literally shipping me something that I didn't know what it was. And if I would have saw it before, if I would have clicked on it and selected it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I know now, like most of the pink princesses are in the States now, and you're able to buy reverted pink princesses for around the same amount of money that I bought mine for. But I was just hoping, since I'm getting it from a far off land, that I'm going to get like some nice pink. It's going to be hot. I'm going to love it. And it's just going to make my collection even better. But that wasn't the case. But the good thing about all of this is that it gave me more courage to say, you know what, I'm just going to cut it back. It doesn't have any pink anyway. So what is the harm that I want to do? And I grew it up pretty large, so where I can get a couple nodes out of it. And I started to get pink. Like, this is one of the cuttings from that plant that I'm talking about, where I'm getting like certain pinks in certain areas. This is another leaf. This is a cutting of a cutting. So this was the leaf from the mother plant that I'm talking about. You can see that there because it's like deeper into the moss. This is the newest leaf that's going to be popping out here, right there, right where my pinky is. And this is the second leaf that came out that I have had pink on. So with all that frustration and like silent frustration because I'm an easygoing person. My lesson was learned. I'm not going to buy a plant from overseas that I don't know what it looks like. I suggest that to you too. If you can just have the seller from wherever you're buying it from take a picture, a reference picture, so you know exactly what you're going to get from overseas. I would strongly suggest you do that because you can just make sure that they have some type of honor, some type of customer service, and you're feeling great that you're going to get a specific plant and not get a mystery plant. Because that's not what's up. That's not what you want. So if you can arrange that, hopefully that would be my number one suggestion to you, because I do that all the time when I'm buying a plant from overseas. I say, well, let me see what I'm getting. If you can't let me see where I'm getting, then I'm going to just find somebody else. And now I'm noticing, like, you don't even have to go outside of the United States to get these rare or variegated or hard to find plants, whatever you want to call them. They're here. They're in the U.S. They're closer than what we think, so you don't have to worry about the phyto certificate fees and the worry about shipping or customs destroying your plants, which I've had experience with. So I think it's like a good thing. I'm still watching the prices on the Pink Princess. I cannot lie. I have been using the power of propagation and horticulture to fund my goal of getting a greenhouse. I was like, why don't I just, use this propagation method to get more plants and more space? And that's what I've always been talking about. And I think that's what, most of you guys that have more than one plant, you just need more space, because eventually if you even get like 2 or 3 plants, they're eventually going to grow and then they're going to take up the space that you have. So we all share like the same desire of like getting more space. So I'm doing just that. I've been selling on Facebook, I've been selling on eBay, and I've been noticing that people have been selling reverted pink princesses for less. I would say you could probably get a reverted nice size, maybe in a 4-inch pot with maybe 6 or 7 leaves for about maybe like 50 to 60 bucks. Same price that I got mine for, but I was expecting to see pink. But you'll probably be able to see what you're getting because now it's being more transparent. But I'm so happy because my plants, my cuttings, they came out great. The one thing I would suggest also, if you're buying a Pink Princess online, make sure that you have like variegation in the petiole or the stem. You can see there's pink inside of the petiole here, so you can almost be 100% positive that your leaves are going to show pink that I have like right there. So that half moon type of design. I mean, from where I've come from, like having no variegation at all to like massive variegation with all these cuttings. It's like it feels good. I mean, I'm able to witness both sides. I used to be upset about it, but since I have like so many Pink Princesses now, and this one is, look at that darkness of this is like the newest leaf, and you can see I have more of a green leaf, so I'm seeing more differences in the plant. And this one also, you can see the variegation in the petiole. It's like so exciting to just be on this journey that I am blessed to be on because I just wouldn't know how these plants grow if I didn't have them. It's nice watching it on YouTube, but it's like even better watching them day by day, seeing how they change pink, and I can't wait for this new leaf to pop out because you can see it's like really pink inside of that new growth there. Um, this and those that's not even my mother plant. That's a cutting from my mother plant. Uh, right now I have like literally have these two, this one, and then this was one that I decided to grow in spag peat moss. To be honest with you, I'm like I got so many pink princess. I think me having that reverted pink princess started the fire. Nothing to lose um, to propagating plants. It was it's like okay, yeah. With any plant, you never know what's going to happen, but I don't know if it will happen to you. So I just don't know what's going to happen to your plant if you start to cut it back, and then maybe you'll get some variegation, maybe you won't. But I'm just telling you what I did. And then like if you do cut it back anyway, and you have all these cuttings, you would wind up with more plants, and then that's where we're talking about more space because those plants that I have right now are gonna fill like all that back area back there, and it's just like one of those things that I'm just so happy to be a part of. With the pink princesses, like on Facebook and on other sites, I know they're ranging between like 100 to maybe $200 depending on who the seller is. For myself, I've been using like auction platforms because I find that I'm able to command like the most amount of money for the plants that I have because I'm putting in the effort to take care of those plants and making sure that they have everything that they need to grow the best way I know how to grow them. And that's why I think it's an honest exchange for the value of the Pink Princess Philodendron that everybody's going after. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
¿Qué tú haces?
The video right now?
Huh?
I'm doing a video. What's up?
Oh, I thought you were saving time by cutting the lettuce.
I can do that. I can do that after I get done the video.
Bye. 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 I'll see you at the house.
Got it. What was I saying? Uh, like I said, I'm just so happy to be able to be a part of this Pink Princess um, plant community. It's just great. So, a couple of things I want to just reiterate. If you don't have any pink on your in your leaves for a pink princess, just cut it back. See what happens. And if you're trying to buy a pink princess, so you won't have to be in the dark, make sure there's some pink on the stem, on the petiole. Um, there's some pink in between there. You can see the red and the pink. Then over here you can see, like I said, some more pink in between the red. You want to look out for that if you're buying or if you're in the market for buying a pink princess. If you're not, if you're thinking maybe you can try your luck and give it some years and just grow it out like I did, you can definitely go that way. I mean, spending $60 and then eventually you'll be able to get a some pink out of it. Maybe I would say it's a gamble, but I know I'm a person that tried it and I actually got some pink. So if you have cut your pink princess back ever, let me know in the comment section below. If you have had a reverted pink princess and you cut it back, and then from when you started cutting back, did your cutting start to go pink? Let me know in the comment section below. I just want to know and just gauge and see how many people out there were successful. I know it probably took some time. I don't know if you did it right away. Like I said, I grew mine for about a year after receiving it, and it grew pretty tall, and I was able to get some pink after I cut it back. So with that said, I'm just really interested in hearing your experiences with your pink princesses. If you're interested in any of mine, like I said, I'm trying to command the highest price for these plants that I put a lot of energy and a lot of my electric into, because I am really feeling the artificial light. But of course, that costs power. That costs that's a cost of mine, and then the water is a cost, and my time that I take is a cost. So I'm just trying to get the most amount of money. So I use an auction. I think auction is the best way. I haven't sold any of my plants for less than like $100, and they've all shown pink, and they have pink in the petiole. So I feel like I'm producing, I'm farming. I'm a farmer of pink princesses, and it feels great. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the pink princesses. And thanks for watching, and keep growing.